Yeah, welcome to Subject to Black. As always, is Mike. Mike, how you doing? I don't know if I lost you. Get on fast. No, just so I know, you asshole. You have minutes. Let's go. Welcome to Subject to Blackout. My name is Timo. How are you doing today?
Tim, how are you? Well, Tim.
Tried to record this It's a little late on the day where it was because of plays and then the so shit happens. Yeah. Aren't going to talk about the movie that I last
Suck
week.
It. Minded.
That movie was not on for already.
Well, how was I supposed to? He was not in the Criterion Collection.
These are there. Yeah.
Totally there.
He is. I've never seen the movie. I'm like that. I believe.
Chun King, gotta watch that.
Not on Criterion. We're not going to watch it. But anyway, decided that we were instead going. We were already watching that just ran. That would be the on Disney Plus. Yeah. What was from Book of Boba Fett? Now that
I guess it was cool. Fett. Saw very little Boba Fett.
There's not a single. If there was, oh yeah, they have like a naughty and nice list, and that be the Book of Boba Fett.
Or he has like a giant. Fennec Shan realizes that. Yeah, and then read, and then like in Jabba the Hutt's palace, like.
It is a Disney show. I was surprised, and some of the show is really cool and fun. It's none of the stuff with Boba Fett's a lot of people's general take. For the most part, this has received but slightly positive. Yeah, mid-50s, low 60s, and that's kind of how it felt like. Season 2.5, Mandalorian was the main character. Out of 7 episodes. Like
stuff happened. Episodes that are like entirely like the Mandalorian music, like the music for
much Mando plot.
Yep.
So shockingly, those were the best parts. Rocks and Boba Fett kind of
like old and shit. And collecting taxes and like for him, he seems like a lot more like the most like hardcore.
Yeah.
I didn't have my Boba Fett like Lego house injecting your brothel anyway.
It's not even brothel. It's like company. It's like. Yeah. Could we get to the cool stuff? Joe doesn't ever really want Boba Fett of how minimally he's and just his, for lack of a better word, movies or the two
movies and the shorts that appeared in special.
Yeah, and badassery is just taught. I escaped the Sarlacc. Who knows how much time? Now I skins for some reason and makes me want Daimyo, which is like a glorified text.
Yeah, like his when I think about science fiction movie, I've reached the end and I'm invested. I think of things like I don't think that this is bad. Like the streams are awesome. We're mentally kind of like show is not doing it for us. After 7 episodes, invested in anybody's goal, care what happens to anybody in a callous way. I'm just sort of because the series was jumping different time periods case or characters in the present, like giving. Like, I never really had an opportunity to know anybody, get invested in what happens to them. Because obviously, I like Star Wars stuff, and I wanted this to... But, like, it just was all over have an opportunity to, like...
Percent agree. Yeah. We will generate some. It was funny, some stuff before we came on here. It's like, I was reading, and one person was like, from, AV Club or whatever, that train sequence movie, and I was like, oh, right. What's happened. And then, like... So much bullshit happened that I forgot. Like, for a 7 episodes longer than like 50 some odd minutes, the fact that 4 or 5 times longer episodes from the beginning several months ago, if not long, that's just has bad pacing.
It's tough because for the most distribution system really works. In the case of Love, there's a lot of like between episodes, and you're kind of like ready to see the conclusion of a cliffhanger. In the case of something like works in the same way that X-Files used to serve the week episodes in canon. And so those are kind of like easy. For some reason, because it was more difficult because it was unclear where it was going, details. Like the first 3 on like there's and like learning their ways and stuff. I watched all those episodes on time. And like one he learned from the Tusken Raiders episode 7. And like I wasn't anticipating important. It should have been like it would sort of like come into play about.
Reaction to and I had the same reaction to an episode where it's like, oh, this season I can't believe Rancor.
Yeah,
like the
when did he any Trejo?
Yeah, how or when any of that happened.
That was cool. Too bad we didn't get to see all those.
In hindsight, it feels in where they had was like, oh, he should do this at some point. They made that they could But again,
Right.
like a structured story, a story getting the way. So it's not just like a Rancor. It's like this episode we saw him rocked off. He must have figured out. And like, it's just A and B.
Do you remember that cool ass pin guy?
Ugnaught, yeah.
Have that name right there? Okay.
He's not. That's his. I don't remember not.
Okay.
Not.
I don't see.
They're a different species.
Do you had the space cows?
Nick.
Yeah. Do you remember the two-legged space cows? He was kind of like with Mandalorian to ride them. You're like, cool. On all that kind of dumb shit. Rancor. Like all these cool ass flown out there. Like really cheap out.
Nick Nolte. It's Danny. Instead of just having a... Their love only fucking like lines he had. And he had a couple scenes over the season. Oh, he can act.
I mean... You know, he's like probably be canceled, but like that's when we do Spy Kids. But,
hearing about who's a Trumper or not.
Super Trumpy. I should talk about an episode that was all just Starfighter take off and land. All of Phantom Menace, if we're being of Phantom Menace. But let's talk about Luke Skywalker. Not just Luke Skywalker, Book of Boba Fett, but also sort of where he's at. I had to start this off and point out Skywalker again with he had to be in this series. Luke Skywalker does not yet a Jedi now. He's just some like a forest planet trying to convince his baby.
Hey.
And it's weird.
His Jedi Academy.
For that.
Don't need to worry about that. Jedi mind trick about that plot hole. Just there waiting for a temple. Let's go with all the story cares to sort of background information. It's just like, nope, we're gonna how, why, what his no, we didn't any of that. Who is actively he's cool with him. And who he kind of
yeah, she also kind of first-hand memories of her dad and master younglings and all of the existing Jedi. But she seems
cool. And pretty in a Jedi Academy despite the Jedi and thinking that they're done. And probably she justifiable.
Seems entirely fine with the same rigid methodology. Anakin towards becoming Darth Vader. She sent the mid was show up. And Luke, you need to leave.
Child can't be around. Love you
because of my two, except for me on this bear.
Technically, my sister from the last right now because
she's not here.
Didn't get her
right,
but she's his first trainee, so I guess
she could do stuff.
And or maybe he trained one of them's a Jedi. Yeah, they're with Luke Skywalker in all. I love Mark Hamill. Luke Skywalker. Him do the voice, or like they did for Mando. This is now an entire kind of deep faked season 2, but now it's entirely deep faked because they hired the guy who released Mando season 2 episode. This better with my computer. And he hired that guy, and that's why it's better. He apparently Mark Hamill, like he allegedly. So now it's just Skywalker impression. So it's like
just some guy.
Nope, love that out of my don't need Luke Skywalker anymore. And yeah, he's making a child in like the closest thing and like getting
which he already had,
but he doesn't know how to use them.
To explain how to use them. Fuck you do. What are his guy? Fuck that guy.
Stalking because they try this one fucking family. I mean, really just
and also this one fucking part for nothing happens. Literally, Tatooine seems to be the source of the universe. Happening. That's not a.
Yeah, no, it's. Take these things that were facts in the 70s and even in like, just take these facts because they're not true. But it's not even legends. It's, the Empire we see after the Empire Troopers there fucking happens on Tatooine. You just wrong. Tatooine is not it's the place in this series of TV. We're about to get a Kenobi story, Tatooine. This Book of Boba is soon. It seems like Mando has Tatooine. Like, we're just be focused. The least interesting is because of member berries really about and his philosophy of Jedi and fucking characters that you remember instead of Mando, which is the characters, and you don't even like a lot. Well, space cowboys and like instead we're gonna put in a couple teasers into, and now it's full comes with the fucking everything that you remember. Exciting,
right? That said, I'm really excited for Kenobi points. And those dudes changed city to Freetown.
It's a dumb name.
Fuck Freetown. Post credits. There's a post and like Cobb Vanth. I don't care.
Why did Cobb Vanth?
Yeah,
and he didn't even come. Granted, because he
died. But like who cares? And then Rad. time and like goes down like
Worked.
what the fuck is
I back the tank when they were like, no. I was like, oh, tour in their Cobb Van. It's like Luke and Vader, or some use of him. Timothy Oliphant, Tim Oliphant, but like, why couldn't he just be like Zone, like Beskar, and he's like, I don't have back, Boba Fett,
or just like some god. I got hurt,
space,
or like I don't know, or like crutches, like.
Because no Plant's character was dead. Because from the scene where he gets shot, they're like, Kit, and he's like on over. It's like,
he wasn't in place. He's shot like in the shoulder.
Deputy got murdered and then hurt, and that was going to be the motive Freetown to go help Boba. Good story. They're like, when the Book of and 4 of the 9 about Mando and Cobb Van, and it's going to be all. Oh my god! Please, thing over and over.
It was okay. I would say if you had to sit, this is where I would have preferred. I think if you sat down and watched, if you'd be fine.
Yeah, this series, I think it's fair to say, is the Marvel or Star Wars that they've released so far. In that, problems it has, like just the story of Boba Fett, because season doing 2 storylines, not having for doing that. It felt weird. Stupid.
It story
issues. I just actually together the other day, the chase scene with them. Whatever, a lot of people didn't like. Called them the Power Ranger.
People just don't like coloring. I understand the problems with that.
Scene looks horrific. Bad editing, and then just every aspect sloppy. And the only felt coherent done were the parts where, because they have story and a strong and motivations and series to make a good line. And then they let episodes and knows how to fucking be and shoot those and the early season that Rodriguez and a slog to get like the train sequence. You bumped up way more than I did.
I don't think I just don't be wiped out. And the sand women and the sand children.
Like animals. Yeah, but I kind of give a fuck about him walking like, I'm nice about it. It's like, you're a badass. Yeah, who cares? Badass. So
and it's not even like a bringing sense of togetherness. Like, they don't even show. I don't think we didn't like this.
No,
is there? Liked it. I think we just watched. Did we like?
No, I did not like it. I don't think it was. I do think parts, but I loved the Mando because I love the Mando show, and I keep because it felt more like season.
I was about to call it. You nailed it as the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, right. That's what this is called. You know what this should have been? Fuck the Mandalorians. Boba and Mando in season and but weird pathetical in the middle of this for 2 full episodes is in one scene lines. Boba Fett. Granted, there's no Boba Fett. I'm sick and tired of.
I mean, we'll watch.
Oh yeah. That there's going to be more Mando shit. Also, if you didn't want, if you're a Mando fan and you're like, I need to watch Book of Boba because it happens.
Yes,
in this,
there are important plot things. So, no, I think I'm glad we talked about it. We didn't like it, but the illusion that I just didn't.
Unfortunately, we can't live in that illusion. Why don't we recuperate and come back and week on subject to Blackout. Get on up. It's cool run. Next week, Mike and I decided to, like we were supposed to honor, although we won't be watching Raise the Rhythm just as critically and cultural 1993's Cool. John Candy's last film, the centers around a team of Jamaica to become their nation's first epic sport of bobsled. 1988 Calgary Games decides to persevere through the mockery and to show that they have the true heart of perseverance through adversity. So join us next week, which is available streaming on. All right, Mike, that was Mando season 2.5. Yeah, we didn't like
it.
I talked to you about, I was hoping to hold off and telling you from Friday night. And
you got that wad.
You looked at because I was having so much fun teasing. But yeah, what sexual, okay?
Yeah.
In a metaphorical sense. But yeah, no, the Mask of
Antonio Banderas, Anthony Hopkins,
Indiana Jones, less famous.
Yes, in for the 90s of American white people. British Americans, it's not like...
And we're pretty for the South in the Civil War.
Certainly a dick, yes.
And a racist, but he's happy to work Lords, which if you consider, then yes, he is also white.
That time.
The 8 or in 18, what? You're right. But yeah, our Zorro portrayed is supposed by a Welsh actor. his Californian or Mexican, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Antonio Banderas / Mexican Spanish. So it's there is somewhat Anthony Hopkins is time, so I will forgive that. Catherine Zeta-Jones and the two hottest people in the world. And the movie is romantic, hot.
Takes her clothes off.
He's like, she doesn't seem.
Man, I can't believe I saw that movie.
Very sexually out of everyone, making everyone jealous. And Antonio Banderas trying to bang because he doesn't to stop him when he's hitting on this girl, Anthony Hopkins' daughter. Antonio Banderas
do sort. I'm gonna get her back.
He does.
California's gonna be
California bad guys plot. It would be of California. Spoiler: it doesn't happen. Yeah, guys got killed by the gold with. This is a great movie,
which was 1850s. Often that happened,
but people just his idea. My favorite parts of looking for sort of, I was in the mood to watch a Jackie Chan. Didn't find any Jackie Chan film that I had terrible on a streaming, and on Netflix I came across. All right, this movie I recall. What's up? Absolutely excellent. Great fight scenes. One of my favorite things is like any smidgen added to the of realism or magicism. Where like every time this happens, like an explode, something gets set on fire, a wildcat roar just
I will have to go
all, but like a bomb like wow, and it's awesome. It just makes it better.
Go look.
Zorro will his neck and it'll just is this happening? But it
Zorro, do foxes make noise?
I mean, it is clearly a cat.
Speak Spanish.
Not noises like you hear those off, but there's horse stunts, vehicle stunts, because this is CGI can do almost anything. Martin Campbell, again, I talked to you this today, is turn around the James 5, then went on to he also Casino Royale in 2006 on franchise a second, like can direct a movie, you know, but it makes me want to watch Foreigner because that stars exactly what I was looking for when I and I hope that every time Jackie, I'm kind of hoping there's like or maybe an elephant.
Like
yeah, sure, a little on the nose, right? The cat sound isn't as, but yeah,
like a panda sound.
That's the it would be cooler generated by Jackie Chan's way that this movie does.
Do you remember the Derek guns? Don't sound like they normally.
Yeah, so a gun noise underneath it. So and then also just like yeah, heighten the action for me. You know, maybe the directed by Martin Campbell is something, but for now, Wonder Mask of Zorro, and Mask of Zorro is so much stole from Zorro.
Batman.
It has a bat cave at the beginning.
I remember that, yeah.
And wears a black cape, and is a rich lower class by fighting crimes.
And his parents are dead.
I mean, Antonio Banderas, pretty old.
He's old, so his parents.
But I don't know if it was tragic.
Right.
He
won't talk about it.
You know, to become the next 100% Batman. And again, off Zorro. That's why he's going to see the 1940s get murdered.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it is just like overlap in. But when Black Horse in, and there was like the 90s, the ship rise up on platform, like his car rise up, like the mid 90s.
It was the era.
Yeah,
that's cool. I have to go Batman.
18th century. It's a badass movie, and yeah. Did you? I know busy over the past week, but is there any sides Boba Zorro?
I've been consuming that. It's great hours, and it's all going to be in cap.
Netflix knew because right before we jumped on this and released a trailer documentary about Kanye.
So excited, and
it's of his close friends when he was recording him at that time. Falling out, shocking with Kanye falling out over the last. And yeah, they were like, oh, and we're releasing that. And so,
I like really quick for Kanye and his wife, Pete Davidson, chick. And he's doing things like trying to pay some of at SNL to leave SNL, I guess. He's making a bunch of pictures of him. Well, that his account has a good way to go. He can always just be like, my Instagram. The thing that I loved at the Super Bowl with his children, their time was on Instagram apps about Super Bowl, and it's getting us as a piece of shit. It was recommended. High following Kanye. He's having a very entertaining.
For those of us who have followed, terribly surprising. It has been a while since he's gone crazy on the internet. Yeah,
It's been at least since he ran for.
That was a while, but
No, that was like a year and a half.
20.
Yeah, remember that?
For president until he realized a piece of paperwork in Florida.
Fuck. Yeah.
I can't just fill. Yeah, that was pretty. Before that, there was the
Yep.
and was just rude. Taylor Swift and a lie. You remember that?
It-
Where referenced her in a song and basically fuck him or whatever. What Kanye did with that lyric was, "Bitch, I got you. Record." It's funny.
So in the last year of that conversation they had, and the recording that wrong the entire time. So
so Kanye is crazy.
Yeah.
That's just terrific.
go.
So yeah, I'm looking for something to do and go to Kanye's
Watch
Instagram
Kanye.
feed. All right, this week on Subject to Blackout Long, you can head on over to Subject, reach out to us, and you can find all Instagram, Patreon, Twitch. So feel free to rate, review, and lastly, you can Twitter at NameTakenPodcast for joining me.